Hello everyone, this is Data from JGX and here we are with another Mech review. Today we'll talk about the Hellbringer. Before we get started, if you haven't done that yet, please remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button and share the content with your friends. Starting from the hitboxes, the Hellbringer has a very small CT. It is very difficult to hit the Hellbringer in the CT. If you want to do so, just try to shoot right below the glass. Its side torsos are very big, so usually it is easier to take down an Hellbringer by shooting its side torsos rather than trying to go for the CT. As for the agility is pretty much in line with all the other laser vomit heavies that perform similar roles, so nothing that stands out of the ordinary. There is nothing to notice. It's just a common heavy mech with a common agility. The agility is just okay enough to let it do what it has to do. As for the builds, they are pretty limited. The whole point here is that it's an Omni-Mech that doesn't have endosteel nor ferrofibrous. So it has a lot of slots, but very limited tonnage. The main build, of course, it's laser vomit. Why am I doing it with heavy larges and not with large pulses? Is heavy large just better than large pulse, or large pulse just better than heavy large? No. You need to notice that many clan heavies that are intended for laser vomit share the same engine size per tonnage ratio, meaning that they will go the same speed. These are the Mad Dog, the Ebon Jag, the Hellbringer, the Sun Spider, the Timberwolf. They all go at the same speed because when the tonnage goes up by 5 tons, the engine goes up by 25 units. So a 65 tonner with a 325 will go at the same speed of a 70 tonner with a 350. 75 tonner, 375 Timberwolf, or a 60 tonner with a 300 Mad Dog. So the amount of space in terms of tonnage that they consume for the engine is the same. But some of them have endo and ferro, like for example the Ebon Jaguar. So by having ferro and endo, they occupy a lot of slots, but also they have a lot of free tonnage. So you can afford putting heavier weapons like the large pulses that occupy less slots. So usually on this kind of clan heavy mechs that have endosteel and ferrofibrous, it is better to put large pulse and meds like the Ebon Jag, the Timber, or the Sun Spider. You can do 4 large pulse, or you can just mix the 2 heroes and do 2 large pulse and 6 meds on the Sun Spider as well. Instead, on mechs that don't have endo and ferro, you starve on tonnage, but you don't starve on slots. Therefore, you go heavy large. The point is on Hellbringers that if you remove heavy larges, in order to put large pulses, you would need to remove also 2 heatsinks. The build would go like this, and it's not that you're choosing between heavy large and large pulse. In this specific case, because you don't have endosteel, you are choosing between heavy large plus 2 double heatsinks, or large pulse without those 2 extra double heatsinks. And since this kind of playstyle relies on peaking, putting big damage output, and then going into cover, I want to max the damage output, and the heavy larges do more damage, and I want also more heatsinks because I want to dissipate that damage, that heat output as fast as I can. Therefore, on a mech like this, it's important to have at least 25 double heatsinks. And this is how it handles on the battlefield.
Target acquired. MWO critical. Target destroyed.
As for the second build that I find interesting, is a build that I don't see on the battlefield at all, which is pretty strange because the mech is honestly very good. Like, to me, there are just two Hellbringer builds. This one, maybe three. This one and those two who rely on the Virago. Like, this build is crazy strong. And I have no idea why people don't run this. It's 4 heavy large with a lot of heatsinks, set of 8, 20 radar deprivation in the head, some of 20, some of 25, I don't know why. Energy heat 10 and also range 10. So you can utilize this left torso with range 10 to do this with a set of 8 to get 10 heat, 10 range, or also you do another kind of laser vomit that instead of having the ECM has 10 range. I prefer though using this one because of the extra range. The high mounts, so this is how it handles. Can I put large pulses instead of heavy larges? No, because then you wouldn't have enough double heat sinks to handle them because of the endo-steel reasons I talked about before.
New target acquired. Target destroyed.
It's pretty hit efficient, hard hitting at long range. You don't need to wait for the whole laser burn to end before shooting again. Like, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. It doesn't ghost hit if you wait at least 400 milliseconds between one burn and another. Now I'm not ghosting. You could find some other interesting builds relying on missiles and set of 8s. For example, a prime set of 8 with UACs and meds, because it had like 2 AC5s and 4 meds. Funny builds, but they're not extremely strong like these two ones that I just showed you. You could try something exploiting the set of 8 of the prime that will give you ECM and also the heat, 10 heat. You won't have the range, but you have the ECM, but also you have all of them on one torso. The left one and this one dies by side torsos, so most likely if you do this you'll get stripped. Another interesting thing to do is to put 3 PVCs like this. You strip some armor here and there, like this, and they also are all high mounted with ECM and 10 heat. You shoot 2 and 1, of course, you don't alpha strike all 3 together. But again, funny build, strong, pretty strong, but I don't think that it is at the same level of the laser vomit one done this way or the other 2 laser vomits, so the 10 range laser vomit and the 4 heavy large one. That's it for today, guys. We're finished. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to subscribe to my channel, share the content, and I'll catch you guys next time.